Some of you out there have been following my content for a while, especially on TikTok. You already know I stay defending fighters like Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and Demetrius Andrade. No more. No more. I can't do it no more, folks. Anyways, let's get into this conversation. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Hey, what's up with it, family? It's Hot Boxing Minute, your favorite pharmaceutical engineer turned boxing analyst, bringing you that uncut, that raw, that concrete, asphalt, blacktop, street corner gospel when it comes to this boxing thing. I want to talk about Ryan Garcia. Haha, I had you fooled, right? Lured you in with the Tyson Fury and the Demetrius Andrade. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk, I don't know if it's Mercury's and retrograde, Gatorade, whatever the hell them weird-ass constellation people want to call it. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the boxing world right now. A lot of banter online. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this one, folks. We got to talk about this one. So anyways, Ryan Garcia was on his IG Live, and he revealed to his fans and to the world that he had an incident inside a nightclub between him and Gervonta Davis. He walked up to Gervonta Davis to, of course, talk that healthy level trash. And it sounds like Gervonta Davis was none too happy and wanted to do the big guy, badass guy in the club thing, thug life, whatever the hell, these things happen. So apparently Ryan Garcia walks up to Gervonta Davis, and Gervonta Davis gets real aggressive, talks about there's no respect between us, and even puts his hand on his chain and threatens to snatch his chain. Of course, Ryan Garcia isn't even stressing there's security all around him. And this isn't rap beef. This is boxers talking ish, trying to sell fights. But you got to give it up to Ryan Garcia. He was calm as a cucumber, knew exactly what to do and what to say, and he kind of knew nothing was going to come of it. I'm sure neither Gervonta or Ryan Garcia want to see themselves get injured or ruin their moneymakers, their hands, in some kind of nightclub brawl. But essentially, Ryan Garcia was in a video on his live, and I don't know if it was the allergies, but his eyes look watery. I'm just going to say it was allergies. A lot of people are like, why is he crying? But that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw. But Ryan Garcia is telling the story. He's like, look, man, I don't got the time to be a tough guy. Inside the ring, yeah, but all that tough guy posturing outside the ring, that's not his style. Much respect to him. If you follow my content, I'm a soft-spoken dude. I don't pop that yang on the internet because I was raised from the OG era, from 90s gangbangers and pimps, and they taught me not to pop that yang on some nonsense. If you're not going to get down where you're mad at with someone in front of your face, then shut the hell up, because there's no point. It just makes you look more effeminate if you go online talking that nonsense. So I can respect Ryan Garcia's stance on that, on not wanting to, say stupid stuff online or even be, in a nightclub talking that nonsense. Personally, for me, I've never been a huff puff type of person. I've always been a phenomenally aggressive person. So for those of you out there who are wondering what kind of person is Hot Boxing Minute, I'm as nice as they come. And I will not tolerate disrespect, though, on some real shit. If somebody gets in my physical space and I feel threatened in any way, I'm swinging. And I've spent time on the mat doing jujitsu. So I'm just letting you know, the little quiet Asian kid that loves to sing can defend himself. And Ryan Garcia wasn't even stressing. He's like, Gervonta Davis doing the Baltimore thug life thing, touching his chain. But the interesting thing is what resulted online. Of course, Gervonta Davis releases the tweets, and he says something to the effect of, taking shots at Ryan Garcia's manhood. And one of the most interesting things was the tweet that caught everyone's attention online. It was a tweet that got taken down. Gervonta Davis said, Al told me to leave him because he went crying to his lawyer. Al got a little scared that they was going to pull out of the fight. I'll repeat that again. Al told me to leave him because he went crying to his lawyer. Al got a little scared they was going to pull out of the fight. Now, common sense would lead me to believe they're working on organizing a fight. And I really believe that it's going to happen, folks. I don't really see what other path Gervonta Davis has. At his age in his career, he's really had no meaningful fights outside of Jose Pedraza when he won his first title. At 28 years old, I think he wants legacy. And I think one of the biggest ways he can do that is in a pay-per-view fight with Ryan Garcia. I think they both got as good a chance at knocking each other out as anybody else does. Ryan Garcia has that reach. He's clearly fast with his hands, has explosive power, knockout power. Tank Gervonta Davis, phenomenal ring IQ, a proven track record of knocking fools the hell out. But guess what? Ryan Garcia been knocking fools the hell out too. So I'm just saying, let's get it on. These lightweights should have been fought each other. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, I would maybe lean towards Tank slightly, but honestly, when it comes to Tank and Ryan Garcia, that's almost a coin toss fight. People talk about, Gervonta Davis having been in the game a little bit longer, but when you think about who he's fought in his opposition relative to Ryan Garcia, it really isn't that different. No knock to Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz, but those weren't exactly the most stellar blue chip prospects in their division going into that fight with Tank Davis. So essentially, they've really been fighting equivalent level competition in the lightweight division. Slightly, I would say maybe Tank might have a slight edge, but it's not significant enough to where you can say Tank's got the experience edge over Ryan Garcia. Like, it really isn't that dramatic. If you look at their resumes as far as who they fought and compare them, it isn't that dramatic a difference. So I want to see that fight happen. I believe that kind of a fight between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis could easily do over 500,000 pay-per-views. I think it would. Those two both have such huge social media clout, have huge diehard cult followings. Let's see it. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, I want to have it. All right. Now, like I said, I don't know if Mercury's in Gatorade, Haterade, Retrograde, but all kind of stuff is popping off online right now. Keyshawn Davis, was taking shots at Frank Martin, and Team Arrow Spins and all of Texas is going at Keyshawn Davis. And then you got Ray Salim, who just now was calling out Cool Boy Steph, but Ray Salim has been on Cool Boy Steph's ass. Cool Boy Steph is the unified champion. The move forward is really in Cool Boy Steph's court to do whatever he wants, because Ray Salim, I think, is not the highest of priorities for Cool Boy Steph. But this video isn't even about that, even though I'm loving all the funk going on online. There's so much to talk about. I want to switch over to what I started off the video with. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. If you follow my content for any amount of years, I've always defended Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. His story of, it's great from the surface level. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury wins the belts from Vladimir Klitschko, the unified heavyweight championship of the world, then goes into a substance abuse tailspin and depression and loses all of his belts, climbs up that mountain again and wins the WBC strap in the ring lineal. Well, he never lost the ring lineal technically, even though he kind of retired once that whole Nandrolone thing came out, but this isn't about that or the Nandrolone accusations. But I've always been an advocate for Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. But his latest antics, y'all, how do you defend Tyson Fury's latest antics? After Anthony Joshua lost that second fight to Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury got online, got on the horn and said, hey, I'm going to make you an offer. He wants to fight Anthony Joshua in the first week of December, which would have been a huge stadium fight out there in the UK. They would have probably packed Wembley Stadium. He said, you got 10 days to answer this fight offer or I'm moving along. Well, Queen Elizabeth died, so they had that little period of respite that occurs in the UK or in any country that has a royal family when they die. Well, that 10-day period has ended, and Tyson Fury's side has been relatively quiet, whereas Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have been very vocal about, yes, they have coalesced to every single one of Tyson Fury's outlandish agreements, from having to fight on the last minute immediately after Anthony Joshua's third loss, his second loss on the road to Alexander Usyk. The purse split is in favor of Tyson Fury. It's all kind of stuff in favor of Tyson Fury. So it looks a lot like Tyson Fury was just out here selling wolf tickets, essentially. Tyson Fury's been stirring the shit pot online, saying a bunch of tweets, calling Anthony Joshua a dosser, as he normally does. But when Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn talk about they're ready on their end to sign the contracts and get it done, Tyson Fury pulls hesitant. Now he's talking about he's going to fight Emanuel Charr. Oh boy, what a killer there, Emanuel Charr. So if y'all don't know, Emanuel Charr, 37-year-old, based out of Germany. Big dude, nothing stellar as far as his resume is concerned. Kind of has a Middle Eastern, Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of look. His record right now is 33-4, 19 knockouts. Doesn't have the highest knockout percentage. He's been knocked out 4 times. He's lost he got knocked out by Marius Bradis, Johan Duhaupas. Come on, man. Alexander Povetkin, Vitaly Klitschko. You can respect those, but, he's been knocked out. He's got a very unremarkable career. He did knock out Christopher Lovejoy and Alexander Ustinov. He got a decision over, but, you know, Emanuel Charr, not exactly somebody people are jumping the gun to go and fight because he doesn't really have a big name. And there really is no damn point in Tyson Fury talking about fighting Emanuel Charr when he was mentioning Anthony Joshua. He shouldn't have even mentioned Anthony Joshua because the only name on Tyson Fury's even radar should have been Alexander Usyk, so we can get an undisputed heavyweight champion, because we haven't had an undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield fought like 20 years ago. 22 years ago. It was like in the late 90s. It might have been 2000. I think it was in the late 90s. Was the last time we had an undisputed heavyweight championship fight. That was between Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. So, Tyson Fury, I've spent years defending that man, but I'm going to have to, for the time being, put him into the high-key fuckery group. He's in the high-key fuckery box. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Get it together, man. Stop trying to play us boxing fans as totally retarded idiots. It's not a good thing. If you claim to be the champion of the people, why are you out there doing this? It doesn't make any damn sense. Anyways, just to let y'all know, when I act emotional about these fighters, I'm not truly emotional. I keep a level of indifference when it comes to these fighters. I'm not one to get super emotional about sports like that, but Tyson Fury's letting me down, and I'm not going to be making no more videos defending Tyson Fury unless he mans up and fights either Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk. I have spoken my piece. Hallelujah, hallelujah, holla back. Now, the next order of business, Demetrius Andrade, boo-boo. If you've been following my content for any period of time, you already know I've been a fan and a defender of the name of Demetrius Andrade. I have been constantly making videos to reply to people besmirching the good name of Boo Boo. In my mind, a lot of fighters avoided him when he was at 160. A lot of fighters avoided him when he was at 154. Why not? He's an educated, slick southpaw with a deep amateur pedigree. In his prime, he was a hard-to-hit target that was very confounding and confusing for fighters to fight, albeit the biggest names on his resume were, you know, Willie Nelson and who was that other? Let me look up Demetrius Andrade before I forget his name. The biggest name, Jack Kulke. I'm gonna look it up. Jack Kulke and Willie Nelson, in my opinion, are probably the biggest names on Demetrius Andrade's resume. Demetrius Andrade was offered $1.8 million in a purse bid to fight Janibek Alemkhanali. Okay, he throws up the belt because it looks like he's making a chess move to fight Zach Parker in a bid to try to get closer to that 168 mandatory shot against Canelo Alvarez. And that's respectable. In my mind, I'm thinking best case scenario, he let go of the 160-pound belt, let Janibek Alemkhanali pick it up, wants to fight Zach Parker. If he beats Zach Parker, he gets to be next in line to fight Canelo Alvarez. But here's where it all goes bad. So Frank Warren secured the purse bid for the Zach Parker. No, actually, it wasn't with Janibek. The first fight, the first time they bid for the purse bid on the Zach Parker fight with Demetrius Andrade was for $1.8 million, which is still a huge seven-figure paycheck, right? The fight was scheduled to go down. Demetrius Andrade pulls out of the fight, and then they decide to reschedule it, or try to reschedule it. They go back to another purse bid. In the second purse bid, Frank Warren picks it up for a lame-ass $305,000. That's a disgrace. $305,000. What's a 60-40 split, 70-30? Demetrius Andrade will get like, what, $200,000? The mighty have fallen. But, hey, if that's something like what Devin Haney did in taking a pay cut to go fight George Kambosos and become an undisputed champion, it's understandable. So he gets the fight with Zach Parker as far as the purse bid secured by Frank Warren. And then Demetrius Andrade pulls out of this fight against Zach Parker. So he could have fought Triple G. He could have fought Jermall Charlo. There's been so many fights where Demetrius Andrade could have got quality fights and names on his list, but he's been holding out for this fight with Canelo Alvarez. And I've given up hope on Demetrius Andrade. Boo-boo. If by some chance Demetrius Andrade sees this video, feel free to holler at your boy. We can do an interview. If you want to clear the air, I got receipts, y'all. I've made so many videos defending Demetrius Andrade. My God. You know how hard that is to defend Boo Boo, y'all? There's a lot of people out there that don't like, but especially the Canelo fanboy army, because after that incident at the post-fight from the Billy Joe Saunders event, all the Canelo fans keep saying, you want payday, yeah, look this guy. And I've always been there to defend Demetrius Andrade. I can't do it anymore. You pulled out the fight with Zach Parker. Well, what's going on now? Now, I'll say this. There's one saving grace for me in this situation with Demetrius Andrade pulling out of the Zach Parker fight. Is Samson Lukowicz was out there on a live, and he said, Samson Lukowicz said that they would take that fight with Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez, and they could lowball him, throw him $1 million. A cool little 7 figures. I think that's a lot better than the $200,000 plus some change he was going to make in that fight against Zach Parker. Take that fight. So Demetrius Andrade can still save face with me as far as I'm concerned by accepting that fight with David Benavidez. And it'll give them both finally a legacy type of defining fight. That's just one fight. They need a whole career full of those in order to be remembered in the boxing pantheon. Anyways, I just wanted to go on my emotional tangent. Boxing community, what do you think about the situation with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis? The situation with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Emanuel Charr? And are we good on Demetrius Andrade or am I jumping the gun on this one? Let me know in the comment section, y'all. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Press follow. This is Hot Boxing Minute, y'all. The future of boxing analysis on YouTube and TikTok. Peace.